I felt as though it was really important for you to see this, especially after what I said yesterday. Um, I'm in the parking lot of the grocery store. I got here, and in typical form for me, my brain's always thinking, and I took a moment before going in to think about how I want to hire some sort of white glove service to help me pack. You know, it's a difficult situation right now because what I want to keep is mixed in with what I don't want to keep. And if I take the time by myself to pick and pack, I'll be in that house for years. Anyway, I've been sitting here. I had my conversation with AI. I have one specifically to help me with the strategic moving plan, you know? But something about the conversation and being here away from the house, sitting in the van, I broke down. I'm breaking down. I'm letting you watch me break down. But I'm letting you watch me to help explain what I was trying to say yesterday morning in the kitchen when I said, just be happy. It's not about always having a sunny disposition, right? I'm not trying to tell people to not feel the pain. This is what I mean about being in the experience. And sometimes I don't even understand why I break down. I just break down. And why do we have to analyze it? The body just needs a goddamn minute, I think, is the problem. I know I'm tired, and I know I'm juggling a lot, and it's happening. It's moving forward. Someday it's going to be behind me. But I just need to sit here and cry for a minute. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. AI said I could help explain it in two different ways. Treat it like the climate and the weather. You know, not every day is sunny. Sometimes a storm will roll through. Well, I'm just experiencing a storm at the moment. Yeah. And actually, in relation to many of the storms that I've had, this is just a light rain. The second way it said you could help to describe it was the art analogy, which actually works out well because in yesterday's video I talked about how it's a blank canvas and we're just going to, all the colors are there and we're just going to see how they fall and, you know, on the painting. But AI was saying that, you know, trying to experience life without these other emotions is like trying to paint a masterpiece and being mad at the black and dark colors that you need for the contrast, shadows, and undertones, being mad at them for being dark and causing undertones. But if you don't use those dark undertones to create layers, your painting falls flat. What in the world is happening behind me? I have a dumpster being dropped right behind my car. Is this some sort of come on, what the heck? I literally have a dumpster being dropped in the lot behind me, or a trash compactor or something. See, the universe has a sense of humor, damn it. Yeah. So just be in the experience of it. Don't make yourself wrong about it. And then when you're done and the storm passes, just be happy again. just laugh at the absurdity of life. You've got to. You just got to laugh at life. You have to laugh a lot. All right. I'm going to sit here and have my moment, and then I'm going to go get groceries and keep going. God damn it. Well, the groceries are in the house and put away, and I've had some lunch, and I'm taking a mandatory day off. It is quite obvious I need some rest. Yeah, I know. I've been pushing, and the appointments are over. I've seen the people. I've started the work. Yeah, my body knows, and I'm not going to fight it. So I'm going to follow what Mama Cat's doing. She's actually snoring. I'm going to go do the same thing. Sorry. Nap time. I need one of those cards here that says 2 hours later. Do I have bedhead? I don't care. My hair is too short to have bedhead. It would have to be like... Have you guys seen the Martin Short documentary yet on Netflix? Martin Short, Life is Short. That's the title. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it. There's somebody who has also lived through some tragedy and exudes joy. I want to have a conversation with you about the difference between rest and relaxing. But while I was out at the grocery store, they had one of those prepackaged salads. It was a Thai salad with cabbage and greens, some sort of Thai spicy dressing. And I looked at this little bag and said, no, I'll make my own. So I bought the ingredients, and I'm going to try and multitask. I'm going to sit here with you and chop some cabbage and mix some greens and make a tahini salad while I talk about more revelations I've had since my nap. Aren't you excited? Hey, you signed up to watch me in this vlog, and I'm happy to have you, so come on. Oh, I need my, it's out there. Here's one. This bowl belonged to my grandmother. It's one of those things that when I'm out antiquing, I see and I go, woo, I have one of those. I think at the old engine works down in Stroudsburg, I saw this bowl. They wanted $325 for it. What? She used to make what our family would call knock-knock cookies. Yeah, she used to make her knock-knock cookies in there. You had to knock the flour off of them before you dunked them in your red wine. Milk, please. This is going to be the easy part because I got baby spinach. No, well, that's arugula. And that's baby spinach. I'll just open those up and stick them in the bowl. Everything else needs to be cleaned and chopped. that bowl is not going to be big enough. You would think I'm still cooking for a big Italian family. I can't help myself. Should have you on the other side of me. Tuck those fingers. Like I'm trying to be all professional with the knife and everything. It's like I've got my fingers, we're doing good. The reason I brought up the Martin Short documentary is because when I woke up, the sun happened to be out. It's not out now. But the sun was out, some white puffy clouds that I could see right out my window above my headboard. And I started to think about summer picnics and badminton or volleyball and crowds and food. And I realized part of that was coming from watching this documentary and his lakeside parties and picnics. But what dawned on me is that I can't remember the last time I could just be at a picnic enjoying myself. I mean, we've hosted parties here out on the acreage. We used to enjoy that. But it's been so long that I kind of woke up a little heavy, feeling like I don't remember the last time I could just stop and enjoy myself. So AI asks me, what was your favorite part about being at these picnics? And the answer that I came up with was that they happened in a time in my life when things were normal, boring, ordinary, 9-to-5 job, or even when I was younger, I was going to school. And picnics and parties like that, family gatherings, were always a highlight. It was something out of the ordinary. It was a highlight. I don't know how else to put it. You showed up, you played games, kids running around, adults talking, food, lots of food. And it was, it just carried that lightness about it. Okay, Barbara, the camera's over here, not over there. The other thing I suggested about picnics was that it was almost like the hardest decision was choosing whether you wanted sprinkles on your ice cream or not. And in the conversation, AI had said that for many years, I've been the person making sure everybody got the ice cream and whether they wanted sprinkles or not. And that I'm finally in a time where, don't you think you're just allowed to just eat the ice cream? You're the one who just gets to eat the ice cream. I don't know, it was that Charlie Brown moment where I was like, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I just want to show up I don't want to host the party anymore or the barbecue. I want to be the one who just shows up and is handed an ice cream and told, enjoy the party, play the games, enjoy the food, don't worry about anything else. That's it. I'm realizing that this simplifying and downsizing of my life is because I'm looking to get to that point where I'm just showing up at the party and not managing anything. And so then I thought to AI, ooh, I dropped you. I said to AI, it almost seems though that I'm in this conversation now that I talked about in that morning, it was yesterday morning, right? Where as humans, we think when this happens, then we'll be happy. So I feel like I'm going back to that conversation, but it isn't because I'm not waiting for that moment to be happy. And there was a clarification between happiness and exhaustion. So, yeah, I'm riding the wave. I'm making the best. I'm living in the experience. So I'm happy now, but I want to get to the place where I'm not the manager anymore. I'm just exhaustion. I'm exhausted. I have managerial and decision fatigue. That's another symptom of caregiving. I really have to tell you, do I say that a lot? I think I do. That making these vlogs has been like my picnic, because my artwork and my mixed media, my memory keeping, that's my picnic. When I looked back at that video on YouTube of my own content when Jerry was alive and I was making my memory keeper, and as a spectator watching it, I was getting all excited again, because those are my picnics. That in that time in my life when I was caregiving, those little gaps in time that I had to myself, those were me being able to just show up, grab the ice cream cone, and tell you what sprinkles I want. I'm saying that because I don't know if you realize, from a production standpoint, when you watch these videos, like yesterday, watching me take the Kubota and load the dumpster, it adds length of time to the process of working, because I have to go, I have to run, set up the camera up there, I gotta run back to the tractor, get on the tractor so I can drive towards the camera, right? So in behind the scenes, it adds time to the work, which would drive my husband crazy. But for me, I'm playing within the work, and I don't mind it. Like, this salad probably could have been done already if I was just making a salad. But it's more fun narrating my story with you and having you watch me make this salad. This is my picnic. Look how colorful. We haven't even added the carrots yet. So if I'm weary, right, it'd almost be better to discuss with you my timeline. So many thoughts at once. My husband got diagnosed in 2013. My father died in 2014. My mother died in 2016. My sister died of breast cancer in 2018. My husband had a heart attack in front of me in 2021. It was downhill from there. It's been a long time of trauma and drama and advocacy, not only for my husband over the years. And I feel like in some people's lives, their timeline would look like, oh, I had a child. Oh, that child had their first communion or life event there. Oh, my daughter got married. Oh, I have grandchildren. It seems like in some other people's timelines, there might be milestones that are a little more celebratory. But I know we all have our burdens. We all have our story. Everybody has a story. But it's the realization, my own realization, which is part of this experience, right? I told you I'm here for it all. I'm here to be in the experience. I think Mama Cat's getting tired of hearing me yak. And part of this experience and going through all the emotions is also learning and realizing things. And this morning in the car at the grocery store, because I got there and decided I needed to research something about finding a company to help me pack, it was just another decision that had to be made. It was another thing on the timeline because I know I need to move on. And so right now, it just seems like the last hurdle to have to get over to where I can see myself sitting in a new home with a sunroom, sitting, looking at the view with my mug of tea, my journal open, sitting there without a care in the world. Mama Cat. And to make sure that I have the strength and wherewithal to get there, because anticipatory grief. I experienced a lot of anticipatory grief watching my husband slowly decay. We're not talking a couple of years. We're talking at least 5 in the worst. Okay, that's a lot of time to watch somebody die. When he wound up in the hospital in those last moments, and I took him off of life support because I walked in and I saw him laying there. It wasn't pretty, but it was absolutely clear we were not prolonging this anymore. And I took him off that life support, held his hand. It took him 20 minutes to let go after the machines were off. But the relief, oh, there was so much relief. I could feel it not only for him, but for me. He was out of pain. He was free from the body. My beliefs, right? He's so much better off right now. He is so much happier right now. And so was I, because the caregiving was over. And I literally, and I'm using that word appropriately, skipped to the car after it happened. It was a freezing cold day. There were snowflakes in the air. I was shivering. But as I got closer to the car, I literally skipped. And nobody can make me wrong for that. Oh, he died. You should be grieving. He's free. Was I. Okay. But then, now, it's like hit a wall, because up until that moment, it was advocacy. It was, making decisions, because in that moment, you had the social worker team understanding and agreeing with me, but you had the medical team that was like, oh, but we could do a bronchioscopy. I said, for what? For what reason? What are we prolonging here, right? So we went from advocacy, decision-making, to it was done. The house was quiet. It was over. That's a shock. That's not a gradual stepping stone. So you have to deal with those emotions. And society and paperwork really stinks in this conversation, because now the end of life paperwork shows up. And now you're dealing with death certificates, funeral arrangements, transferring of stocks or property, and all this. So it really doesn't end. And then, of course, I was resentful because, sure, he was all better now. He was off cutting trees for St. Peter up by the pearly gates, having a good old time. And I was the one, I am still the one, left to pick up the pieces. God, I can't even stress enough. If you are somebody in this situation and you're the person slowly fading, be open to the fact to help your loved one before you go. Don't leave them in a state of where's the paperwork or what needs to be done. Get it done now as a gift to them for when it's over. It was like a public service announcement. But now, from my perspective, I thought I was staying here, and I was getting to the point where all that paperwork was getting completed and the dust was settling. And then in February, when the dust did settle and the ink did dry, oh my God, I thought I was finally going to have my Phoenix Bridge Command Center, and I set it up, and I was now going to just be the artist and create with you and live on this property. No. So sorry. Not sustainable. Yeah. I'm not going into that part of my private life. Period. It's not sustainable. I can't stay here. And suddenly now in February, instead of getting to the point where I thought I could relax into my life, not only rest, but relax, here I am. I have to make managerial choices about my life. And it's me. It's just me. A blessing. Honestly, it's a blessing because I have that autonomy of choice and decision making and moving forward. But, it's just me. Managerial decisions, more decisions. And that's what hit me this morning in the parking lot at the grocery store. I was exhausted, still am exhausted, but I am mentally decision fatigue exhausted. And I'll tell you, I decided to go into the grocery store and hang out in the produce section because for me, I could pretend maybe I was in an Italian market with the sun shining, just looking at the produce, going past the sweet basil and smelling it, going past the peppers and seeing the red ones and the yellow ones and the orange carrots. That's the being happy now. That's the living in a state of being as opposed to being in a state of doing. We're human beings, not human doings. And it was just what I needed. There was no rush. I could make the shopping experience a market experience for me and take my time and ignore everybody else who was scattering and doing whatever they were doing, and enjoyed myself. That's why I got that shot that I showed you of my basket full of produce. It really was what I needed. When I got home, I crashed. I had lunch and I crashed. There is a difference between getting rest. That's what I did today. I rested. I gave myself a mandatory day off and rested. But the brain, this brain that's on these shoulders, this head here, as AI put it, I have so many tabs that are still open that I can't close yet. So there's no relaxing unless I choose to. That's where meditation comes in, if I had the patience to meditate. But for me, meditation is, again, my heart. That's my meditation. But because I'm in the middle of the move, so here I am vlogging. Wow. Yeah, I think that was the story I wanted to tell. Maybe I should finish the salad now. Where's that going? Did I make you dizzy yet? And well, that can be separate. That won't take up much room. I might have to get my grandma's pasta pot to finish this. Talk about having parties. I better invite some friends over. I need 10 tons of that dressing. That's like nothing in this. It's actually mixing very well. I didn't add any extra in there. And everything is looking coated with the dressing. What a beautiful mess. We have, for your viewing pleasure, a Laughs a Lot version of a meow meow Thai meow Thai salad with a tahini dressing. I've added some cherry tomatoes, some just a few candied cranberries, chickpeas, there's pumpkin seeds in there too, and some sourdough bread with some plant-based butter. That's this evening's creative self-expression in the form of a greens mixed media. All right, guys, I love you. After I took the picture, I put another heap of salad on there. I kept it small and pretty for the picture. Yeah, I'm doing okay, guys. Thank you for sticking around and watching. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for this meal. And thank you, God, for my new friends. All right, laugh at life, laugh a lot. See you tomorrow. Ciao.